There's really nothing in the world that would have ever pointed me in the direction of innovation, even though I am the senior innovation manager at Liberty Global. I have a pretty non-traditional background. My family wasn't super well off. We had 5 kids. I didn't even go to university until I was 25 years old. I did decide while I was at university that I wanted to experience something outside of what I know. So I got it in my mind that I had to do a study abroad. I didn't want to be one of those people who never left where I came from and had no other experience outside of that life there. And I went to university and I studied marketing and communications. My husband, who was a Dutch man, and moved to Amsterdam in 2004, and I've been here ever since. But moving to a new country meant that I sort of had to start all over. I did clinical research. It went well with my pharmacy background. And then I was like, no, this is really not for me. What am I going to do? I was stalking a role that would be in an international environment that would allow me growth and would allow me eventually to get in communications. And that's how I came to Liberty Global. I started off actually in their programming department, so still working with legal contracts. And I stalked a role in corporate communications. I'm like, I am going to get in that team. And I did. So I was working in corp comms, and that's when Spark, the program that I work for, started up. And the guy who was running it happened to sit right next to me. And I started just listening into his conversations. And I thought, that is super cool. And I really want to do that. I said, I will do that. And he said, yes, you will. So nothing in the world would have ever pointed me to now running this global program and doing the things that I'm doing. For me, I guess anytime you're questioning and then you're building something different, adding something maybe a little novel, measuring the results, iterating and learning, then you're innovating. I think what spoke to me most about the Spark program is that coming from a very small town and then living in the Netherlands, I've always felt a bit of an underdog. And I've always rooted for the underdog as well. And anytime I can open up doors for others to share their passions or their thoughts and their knowledge, their insights, that really makes me happy. And that's why I was really led in this direction. Well, firstly, the thing the audience should know is that most innovation teams are 1 to 2 people. So whatever your skill sets are, you better make sure they're diverse amongst the 2 of you. I actually feel that the most important skill, I guess, would be my communication skills. As soon as people go back to their daily grind, they forget that you exist. So being able to communicate with those people to keep your program sort of fresh in their minds all the time. As an innovation manager, you're going to have to influence and persuade people sort of up and down the whole chain of command. So you better be able to do things like get into important meetings, hold a really good conversation, and pull something useful out of it. One other thing that you should do as a great innovation manager, I think, is have a huge, strong network as well, because you're often not going to have the answers or the skill sets. So you need to be able to pull from other people. I am somebody who really thrives around people. I'm just a naturally curious person, and I'm somebody who likes to connect people to other people. I'm also not shy to start a conversation with somebody in the lift or in the stairwell or in the grocery store. And that's how I build the network that I have as well. Cultural differences are tricky because you try not to put all of people in one singular box, but you also need to be sensitive to cultural norms, which of course is putting people in a box. And I don't know if this is the right answer, but it's how I personally deal with working in a multicultural business, trying to be my authentic self at work. But when meeting new people or when having new meetings, I do try to listen first and speak second, or I will let them set the tone of the meeting rather than I have to do this consciously. And in the end, really, culture for me just comes down to respect and respecting our differences, respecting our sameness, and respecting people at all levels, regardless of their backgrounds or their titles or what they can do for you or what they have done in the past. And if you have that respect for everyone, then culture shouldn't be a huge problem.